Hello, this is Jackie. Welcome to my live stream. Well, hello there, Miss Jessica. Having a bad day today, huh? Your daughter had to go home. Well, hello there, Steph. Nice to see you too. How's everybody doing this morning? Or should I say this afternoon now? I know they had to go home today. I know that's so bad for you, Jess. I'm sorry. But it's like your mama said, summer break's coming up pretty soon, and maybe they can just come stay with you. Trying to get so I'm not right up on top of the camera. Is this coming across okay? Can y'all hear me all right? Oh, awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to show that. That's going to be so amazing. So, I thought I'd do a little Q&A today. I mean, of course, you two know who I am and know everything about me. But I thought I'd do a little Q&A for anybody else that happened to show up. Is there anything y'all want to ask me? Yes, no, maybe so. Toodles is having a fit to get up on top of me. You know Toodles. She doesn't know it, but smile. I don't want to smile. I got a terrible smile. It's just kind of like a bronzy eyeshadow and then some gold eyeshadow at the top, my eyeliner, and a little bit of mascara. I didn't even put mascara on the bottom because it doesn't do any good. So it's just nothing. Not like I used to do. Remember when I used to do butterfly eyes, Jessie, with 3 or 4 colors? I don't do that anymore. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. I find that if I stream without, I can't get my camera fixed where I want it to be. I find that if I wear my glasses when I'm videoing or live chatting, I get such a glare off of them. So that might be why my eyes are popping because I don't have my glasses on. Just I saw your son yesterday, Justice, and I guess Carter's walking now. How about that? I can't believe that Carter's old enough to be walking. Oh, here comes the baby girl. She wants some attention too. Y'all, there's Toodles, and little does she know, beginning of the month. No, don't lick mama. The beginning of the month, she's going to get fixed. You saw the video. Which video, Steph? Which one are you talking? Oh, the video of Carter walking, yeah. Well, I think it's awesome. I saw him and Chelsea and Carter were over at your house yesterday, and they were waiting for Kenneth to get home. But evidently, he never got home yesterday because he didn't leave till today. But I stopped to pick up my mail, and we talked a few minutes. And he was telling me about Carter. And that was so awesome. Quit licking me, baby. You can be up here, but you can't lick. Hi, Cheryl. I followed you, or I sent you a Facebook messenger request, and I don't know if it's you because here you've got the little pink icon, and on Facebook I just found, people with faces. So I don't know. I sent you one, a request. So you'll have to make sure it's you. If not, send me one on Facebook. I'm Jackie Payne Hicks. And that way we can connect because my picture is the same, like I am. So you can find me. So I'm not doing anything today. It's Sunday afternoon, just chilling. Got my baby, my poor baby. She's just, like I said, she doesn't know she's going to get fixed. She's 2 years old and she's been bred twice and hasn't had puppies. So I'm beginning to, no, you can't kiss mama. I'm beginning to think that she can't have puppies. So I'm just going to go ahead and get her fixed. That way she doesn't have to go through heat anymore. She's just miserable when she does. So I'm not going to put her through that anymore. I wanted little babies, but I'm not going to get them. So that's okay. At least I got one little kid. I got my little Toodles here, my little Toodles. It'll calm her down, I hope so. I tell you what, her just barking incessantly at like things on the TV or a noise outside. We finally figured out the trick. I got an empty spray bottle and filled it full of water. And after a time or two, she starts barking, and you just point that bottle at her, and oh, yeah, she settles right down, stops barking. So I need anything I can do to get her uh, settled down. So Cheryl, I said I was going to do Q&A, and now Jessica. Hi, Dewan Gray. How are you doing? Sorry, I don't got my glasses on, so it makes it harder to read the chat. Welcome to my live stream. Ha ha. Like I said, Jessica is my niece, so she knows everything about me, and Stephanie is my best friend, and she knows everything about me. But I thought I'd do a little Q&A today if there was anything anybody wanted to know about me. I'm glad you're doing okay, Dewan. So I just thought if there was anything anybody wanted to know about me, I'd answer a few questions, and if not, I'll just chit chat about junk. You know me, I can run my mouth nonstop forever. You're the one in the red shorts. Okay. I'll know to go look for that, Cheryl, and make sure that you're the right one. Because I did send you a request, but it might have been to the wrong one. So I'll check that after I get off. So how's everybody doing today? No, you can't have any of my juice. You can't have any of my juice. Okay, so no questions. So I'll just talk a little bit. I well, I know what I want to talk about. How do I want to bring it up? Well, I'm going to tell a story about my dad. Well, maybe I'm not going to go there today. I'm going to go to how I came up with the name AJ. As you can see, my name is Jackie, and my father's name, which I'm not going to say because not for privacy because he's passed away, but because it's just a strange name. But anyway, his nickname was Jack. So my mom had had two miscarriages or stillbirths. I'm not sure which one it was. And then they had my two sisters. So then there was me. I was the third child. Well, technically, it would have been the fifth, but they hadn't had any boys yet. So I guess they decided that they weren't going to have any boys. So they couldn't name me after my dad per se because of his name. But since his nickname was Jack, I got Jackie. Okay, and now Jackie became AJ. My one niece, Amy, back in the 80s when Roseanne Barr was on, she was like a 14-year-old or something. I don't know. Anyway, she really loved that show. And if you remember, Roseanne's sister was Jackie, and all the kids called her AJ. So my niece started calling me AJ, and it just stuck. Everybody in my family now calls me AJ. My nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews all call me AJ, and that's cool. I like that, that I'm called that. And so that's how I got my name. And then lo and behold, 2 years later, along came my brother, and then 3 years later, along came my other brother. So my parents did end up with a couple boys after all. And it was so funny. I was, like I said, I was their fifth attempt at childhood and or having children, and I got named after my dad. So growing up, I was a lot of a tomboy. I remember my third Christmas, and it's really the first Christmas I can remember very well. But it's my parents got me a green John Deere metal toy tractor, the kind you just, push around or whatever. And that's what I got. That was so strange. It was so strange. And growing up, my dad would take my brothers out and do things like, show them how to change a tire. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. That's so sweet of you. My dad would take my brothers out and like show them how to change a tire or change the oil, things like that. And I'd be right there, right with them, because my sisters were older, so they had their own things going on. And so that's why I really was raised like a tomboy. And but that was okay because it was cool. I remember when I first moved to Alabama in the mid '80s because I, was born and raised up north in the Chicago area. And my parents retired down here in Alabama in 1981. And then I finally moved down here in 1984. My dad and I used to do stuff outside all the time. He wanted to build a building on the property. And so I was out there with the post hole diggers, digging the post holes and everything, and doing all of it, and because my brothers weren't around, they worked or whatever. So I was the one who did it, and that was a cool time to be with my dad. The things that we did. I had a car that I bought when I first moved to Alabama, and God, I'm dating myself, but it was an old car then, and it was a Pinto station wagon, and the water pump went out on it. Well, my dad wasn't able health wise to get out there and do it himself. So we got out under a shade tree and I went and got a new water pump. And he sat there in a lawn chair and directed me on what to do and how to do it, what bolt I needed to turn or whatever. And I changed that damn water pump by myself. I thought that was amazing. Not everybody has those memories like that with their father. So that was pretty cool. Um, my dad was he born and raised in the South, and then he moved up north, like in 58, in, into the Chicago area. Went to work in a steel mill, to yeah, make a living, because there was five of us plus my mom and him. And my dad worked hard, but he partied hard. And I don't mean that he'd go out to a bar or anything, but on the weekends, he'd buy a fifth of liquor, and my aunt would come over, and him and my mom and my aunt would sit there, and they'd just, carry on, have a good time. All the kids were there, and it'd be like a week long, a weekend long thing. We'd barbecue or whatever, and it was, it was good times because it was some of the few times we got to see my dad. Because up until the time I was, say, 12, 13, my dad worked two jobs. He worked Hi there, Spirit in the Sky Blue. Glad you could stop by. Well, anyways, my dad worked in the steel mill and he worked second shift. Everybody say hi to Spirit in the Sky Blue. Anyways, my dad worked second shift in the steel mill. He was a foreman. And, living in the city, everything's so much more expensive. And my mom didn't work because there was, five kids. So my dad picked up a second job at a furniture store and he started out, delivering furniture. But then after a while, he got to the point they sent him to school and he learned how to refinish furniture. Like, so if there was a ding or something when it got delivered, he could do that. So up until the time I was about 12 or 13, we never really saw my dad except maybe on Sundays because he was always working. But then after I was about 12 or 13, he got a good promotion and he could quit the second job. So he just worked, one job. And that was awesome. We got to spend more time with him. My aunt and everybody called her JR because that was her initials. And they called her JR, my dad's sister. And she used to come on the weekends and her and her two children, and they'd stay. And we had just moved. And it's so funny. We only moved 3 houses down the street, but we moved. And so that night, after all the moving and everything carrying on, mm, they all got to feeling good. They had them several little cocktails. My dad, my mom, and my aunt. And my aunt was sitting. My parents had went to bed, and my aunt was sitting up with my two older sisters and me, and we were sitting there. Well, my dad woke up, and he had to go to the bathroom, and you could see him going through the house in just his, you know, white underwear, his white jockeys. And my aunt caught a sight of him and she says, "Oh my God, look, it's a tooth fairy. The tooth fairy's here." So we just had a big giggle about that. That my dad was the tooth fairy. Of course, we were all old enough to know that there was no such thing as a tooth fairy, but that's just the way it worked. So after that, we teased my dad all the time about him being the tooth fairy. Stupid little story, but something I remember about my dad. And again, pardon me, since I don't have my glasses on to see the chat, I have to kind of look a little over and get a little close. So let's see what else I can talk about. And remember, if y'all got any questions, just type them in there, and I'll answer whatever I can for you. I've retired, not through age, but through disability. So I've been retired for 5 years, and I started about rocking on close to a year ago. Doing some YouTube videos. Where did I grow up? I grew up in a suburb of Chicago, and in Illinois, and it was called Calumet City, and that's where I was born and raised. And my two younger brothers were born there, but my two older sisters were born in Alabama because that's where my parents lived up until like 1958 or 59. He was a good guy, but he was definitely the old school kind, that boys get preferential treatment than the girls do. He bought my brothers uh like a 250 and a 125 or something motorcycles, and he used to take them out and let them ride them all the time. And that pissed me off. I wanted to be on a motorcycle too. I had always been the tomboy, but no, girls didn't ride motorcycles. They didn't do that. Well, I ended up riding a motorcycle on the back end. Well, I drove a motorcycle too, but it was, and like, I was 18 and I was still living at home. I was out of high school and I had my first job, good job. I bought a brand new car and I was paying for that. And my brother that's closest in age to me he was like 16 at the time. Well, where I worked, their office Christmas party, they held in downtown Chicago at, a big hotel. And everybody just made reservations and just spent the night, after the party so that nobody would have to be, driving or anything drunk or after they'd been drinking. And, it was formal. Everybody bought, formal dresses and everything to go to this party. Well, the night that I was supposed to go, my dad told me I had to be home by midnight. But Dad, we've got reservations and we're staying at the hotel, so we're not drinking. Do you? That's awesome. Well, so we were gonna stay at the hotel, and my dad said, "No, you don't need to do that, you just need to be home by midnight." I'm thinking like, "What the hell?" Whatever. This is my father, you gotta listen to him. At the same time, he turned right around and told my brother, who was 16 years old, and he was going out in my mom's car with his friends, and he told him, he said, "Son, you just be careful. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and just make sure you get home safe." And I turned around and looked at my dad. I said, "Well, what time does he have to be home?" He said, "Oh, he can handle himself. He can come in whenever. He don't have a curfew." Oh my God, that pissed me off so bad. That pissed me off so bad. So my dad was cool, but he was definitely, old school. The boys could do anything, but not the women. They couldn't do that. It wasn't that wasn't anything that it wasn't acceptable. Even though, I'm talking about the late 70s, early 80s, and definitely my dad had double standards. My mom never worked because my dad thought she needed to be at home with the kids. And at that time, you could do that. The guy could make enough of a living to support his family. I remember my mom didn't go to work till I was probably 14 or 15. And all she did then, she was a school crossing guard. She worked like 3 1 hour, sorry, gotta get rid of that. She worked like 3 1 hour shifts, in the morning, at lunchtime, and then after school. And that's what she did. That's all she worked. But my dad definitely had double standards, kind of like do as I say and not as I do. But that's okay. I loved him. And he had his faults too. He had a temper, and I'm like him. I definitely have a temper. I take after him in that respect. But he had a temper, and he'd get so mad at Saturday like Saturday evenings or something. He'd be so mad about something. It just something stupid, trivial. And instead of, like hitting us or my mom or anything, he'd punch the wall. And then Sunday morning, he'd have to get up and go to the hardware store to get the stuff to patch the wall where he punched a hole in it. I remember that. To me, that's so stupid. Why do that when you know you got to get up the next day and fix it? But I guess when you're drinking, it's, you do different things. I don't know. But I love my parents. I'm not going to say that we didn't have our problems because we did. Every child has problems with their parents. But I loved my parents, and I respected them to the day I died, and or till the day, excuse me, that they both passed away. Excuse me, let me get a drink. I'm running my mouth and I get a dry throat. I respected them till the day they died. And my parents were old school. If you did something wrong, you got a whooping. Um, that's just, it wasn't, no, you're grounded to your room or you can't have your friends over. You got a whooping, but then it was over with. So in a way, it was better because you didn't have to, go through being grounded or, things like that. 10 minutes and it was over and you could go on to do whatever you wanted to. But Lord, they threaten you. If you had friends over and you did something that my parents didn't like, they'd tell you right in front of your friends. Now you know what's going to happen when your friend goes home, right? And so then you would dread it. You just hated the thought of, oh, can't you stay longer? Don't go home yet, But it was it brought me up to respect my elders. And I think that's a lot of what's missing in today's generation. And I'm not saying children need to be whipped. That's just the generation that I grew up in. But kids need to be taught respect for their elders. You know, you respect your parents, your aunts, your uncles, you know, you, you just don't go out and diss or whatever on anybody. Yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and please and thank you. Those are the things that we learned growing up. I'm going to tell you, I probably got more whippings when I was growing up for not saying ma'am or sir. That's what would get me in trouble. So believe me, I learned, and now even to this day, everybody is ma'am and sir, and it's please and thank you. That's the way I was taught, and that's the way I roll. Excuse me for coughing. I'm got chronic bronchitis, so just going on at the mouth like this is not helping at all. But it is what it is. Oh, I thought I had a cough drop up here. I guess I must have moved it. Okay. So, what else can we talk about? Like I said, if y'all got any questions for me, anything that I can answer for you. Hi, Buttercups Bunny. How you doing? Welcome to my show or live stream or whatever you want to call it. Show makes it sound like, oh my God, I'm some big movie star or something, and I'm not that, but just live streaming a little here today and rambling on. Good. I'm glad you're good, and I'm fine. I'm like I just said, I had a little bit of I've got chronic bronchitis, so it's flared up a little bit right now. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm I've always been a big stand back taker for headaches, and some people don't know what stand back is. They also everything like that that's similar is like BC or Goody powders or things like that. And mine's always just been stand back. And I was taking You definitely agree. Absolutely, Day One. It's you got to have respect for your elders, and because there's not that in today, the generation below us, and even the one below that. Because I know now, while my nieces and nephews pretty much, have respect. My great nieces and nephews, uh, uh. Hold on, I gotta let the dog out of the room. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. You went out, baby? Come on. There you go. Oh. Okay, everybody, sorry about that. Toodles was tired and be in my room, and so I had to open the door so she could go out. Well, I'm gonna say that in my family it was different. My sister, my oldest sister, she was the oldest, so she got well, she had a little bit, but she still got to do pretty much what she wanted. And then there was my next sister next to me, and she got the freedom to do just about anything. And then I came along, and my parents kind of clamped down. It wasn't going out or doing anything like that. But you're right, the older ones do seem to take the brunt of it because I used to be so pissed that my brothers could get away with murder and they were younger than me. And something I'd get in trouble for, they'd get a pass on. It's like, definitely double standards, but again, because they were the babies. They were the babies. I don't even know what I was talking about now before I had to let Toodles out. I think I'm getting old timers, where things come in and go right out and you don't remember anything. But I can remember stories from when I was little, thank God. And that's part of why I do these. It's like creating a video memory or of my memories of things to do with my parents and my family and my brothers and sisters that way when I'm gone, my nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews will have this as a reference and know about some of the things that went on in my life as I was growing up. My dad used to he'd sit and tell us stories. And when I was younger, I didn't think that much about it. But after I, moved down here in 84, I'd sit and I'd listen to my dad talk and I'd ask him questions and I'd just write things down in a notebook. Oh, I know. I miss my parents. And they've been gone a good while. My dad passed in 94 and my mom passed in 96, so they've been gone a good while, but you still miss them, and you'll always miss them. And I talked to my parents, and at hard first, it was really, really hard, but the thing is, it is true, time eases it. You don't forget about them. You always remember them. You love them. You think about them all the time, but the day will come when you don't think about them every day. Oh, wow, in a car accident. That's horrible. That's just horrible. My father passed, with a heart attack. He'd already had one, he had to take an early retirement, and then, he passed with a heart attack. My his father, and on my father's side, heart attacks were a real big problem, and my mom, oh, you miss your grandma. I know, it's so hard. You look back and think about the things that happened and your memories with them, and it is hard. To this day, I'll see something or hear something. Oh, thank you, Spirit in the Sky Blue. And I started to say, my mom passed in 96. She had had a stroke, and then she had what they call tic del Roe. It was like the fifth cranial nerve, I think it is. They had to go in and remove it because her eye would twitch all the time, just nonstop. Oh, Buttercup Bunny, I'm so, so sorry. That's horrible. I had a very, very good friend, close friend of mine, pass away about a year ago from that. And it's hard to see what they deal with. You miss your granny, I know. I miss her too, Jessica. I miss her a lot. And I like the fact that my mom always crocheted and you picked it up. So when I see you crocheting, Jess, or something you've made, it just brings back such memories of my mama to see you sitting there crocheting or what you've done. It's same with your mama. When she's crocheting, I think of my mom. And that's a good memory. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy it. You're so cool. I If I think about it next time when I come on to do a live stream, I'm going to bring that case that you crocheted and everybody, my niece Jessica made her own. She made her own handles for her crochet hooks. She did like some kind of putty or something, and there's like not speckled. What would you call that? Kind of like rainbow looking, but not rainbow colors, and they're just awesome. And she made crocheted a case for them to all fit in, and she gave it to my sister, which is her mother, and I think that was just awesome. Mhm. Oh, so well, hello there, El Hadi. How are you today? I don't recognize you, but welcome to my stream. Dakota and family, hi, welcome. Yes, ergonomic handles, yes, that you made, Jesse. Those were amazing. I'm gonna have to try to remember to get them out and show what you did. Oh, Spirit in the Sky Blue, that's so, so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see what else I can talk about. I've been running my mouth. Let's see. Anybody got any questions? Because if you do, ask them. We're just, I'm just meandering on, Elhad. I'm not talking about anything important. My channel is not drama. I try not to get involved in drama. I, like I've said, hi there, Simply Coastal. Glad to see you. Glad you dropped by. How's my day? My day's going good. I'm having a little bit of a rough time moving around today. My arthritis and everything is really bothering me, but that's okay. That's okay. And like I said earlier, the reason I do these vlogs like this is for a video memory of the next generations to come along so they know things about me and my parents. Oh, I know my mom used to do blankets. Well, that's what I've been talking about. Some is about my childhood, talking about my dad. I grew up as a like I said, as a tomboy, and, I didn't have any, like, girlfriends to play with in the neighborhood till I was, like, 12. Then a family moved in across the alley from us, and they had a girl, but everybody else in my neighborhood was all boys, so I just hung with the boys, and that's what I did. So I was pretty much a tomboy. And I've always felt like, do I have any kids? No, I have no children, no grandchildren. But the way I've always said, my sister had 8 of them, 2 sets of twin girls, so she had enough for me and everybody. Well, that's the whole part. I've always wanted to be the cool aunt. And as I've gotten older, Jesse, I've gotten, I don't have quite as much tolerance anymore as I did, for youngins. Some of them, no problem. Hi, Trailer Park guys. Nice to see you. I'm talking about my childhood and kind of doing a Q&A. So if you guys got any questions, just ask them. Otherwise, I'm just meandering on and talking about absolutely nothing important. Yep, I used to Spirit and Sky Blue. I used to take my nieces and nephews out and my sister's 8 kids. Yes, I believe in God. I do believe in God. My favorite memory, oh God, that is so hard. I couldn't begin to tell you what my favorite memory is. I have so many of them. I have to think about that for a while. No, no, no. That's not going to be hard to think about. My favorite memory, now growing up as a child, and I've told this story before, is when we drove up to Michigan to pick apples, and my dad took his truck, and my aunt took her car, and we just picked the apples and put them in the bed of the truck. And of course, my aunt and my mom and my dad were all sipping a little cocktails. So coming back on the expressway, the traffic was pretty heavy. And my dad decided he is tired of this. He hopped over into the emergency lane and he's hauling ass down the expressway 90 miles an hour in the emergency lane, and apples are just flying up everywhere out of the back of the truck. That I remember. My favorite old song, okay, and this is going to sound so weird. And the only reason it was my favorite old song is because my dad hated it and he heard me singing it and he thought it meant something else and I got a whipping over it. I used to love Hanky Panky. I believe it's Tommy James and the Shondells that did that. And I used to sing that. And that's what I got in trouble with that. I got spanking for that. So I didn't sing that song no more. Now I'm my favorite of all time is Bob Seger. I love Bob Seger. Turn the Page is my absolute favorite song. And my second favorite performer, and I know this is going to sound weird, Frank Sinatra. Oh my God, I love Frank Sinatra. I know he was way before my time, but I could sit and listen to Frank and sing right along with him. That was just, I enjoy Frank. Excuse me, y'all. Gotta light up another one. Trailer Park Guy, I'm so sorry, but I gotta do this. Okay, well, see, you're obviously not as old as I am. Oh, I liked Dean Martin too. I liked the whole Rat Pack. And again, that was all before my time. Sorry, TPG. I'm not good like you. I haven't quit yet. Don't know if I ever will. But in the interim, I try not to smoke. Well, thank you. I mean, watching me smoke is not as bad as being in the room with somebody who smokes. Like I know your roommates smoke. Oh, that was so sweet. Now, see, up until the time I was like 12 or 13, I had no idea that any other kind of music besides country music existed because that's what my parents listened to. And in the car, at home, whatever, all they ever listened to was country music. So I didn't know that there was any other kind of music till I got a little older. And my sisters were, in their teenage years, and back at that time, everybody bought 45s and played them. And now I'm to the point where I enjoy any kind of music, any kind of music. It doesn't matter what it is, I like it. Oh, yes, we have no bananas. Oh, how sweet. How sweet that he taught you all the songs. Like I said, I learned all the, country from I knew the country from the 60s and 70s because that's what and I still enjoy country. I don't listen to a whole lot of music anymore. Very little. Now, I will go and watch Sarah Burchett quite often. I love her and her parodies, and I like to watch her. In our days, so are you talking like in the 90s? Because I'm not sure how old you are. So you have to tell me about that. But talking about the 90s and Buttercup's Bunny, you're saying that you don't like rap and jazz. Jazz is fine. I like jazz. And rap, the only rap that I like, oh, for right now, okay, give me just a second. The only rap that I like is Eminem. I love Eminem. I blare it on the CD in the car, whatever. I love Eminem. And El Hadi, as far as today's music, like I said, I don't listen to a lot of music. If I do, it's like music from the 70s and the 80s. But music from today, I like Ed Sheeran. I like Train. I love Train, and I know they're not as popular as they once were, but I love Train. And I like Bare Naked Ladies. Their favorite song that they do that I love. My favorite song that they do is If I Had $1 Million. Yep, if I had $1 million, I'd buy me a monkey because I always wanted a monkey. Yep, I always wanted a monkey. But as far as like real current and everything, no. Excuse me, I don't listen to a lot of music. Like I said, it's older music that I listen to because that's what I know and I like to sing with. Even like Bob Seger, 80s, and he's from, the 80s. And I just love the hell out of him. Oh, it went out. That's because I'm talking too much. Talking too much. So, what about y'all? As a wise woman, what did you learn all this time from the life? You get out of life what you give. If you're good to people, they'll be good back to you. If you're a bitch, they're going to be a bitch back to you. Respect to your elders is mandatory. I think that it's mandatory. Respect among your peers, that's earned, not given. Um, Basically, it's just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And remember, karma's a bitch. She's gonna get you. You put out evil, and evil's coming back. It will. You put out good, and good'll come back. Music playing, and the velvet wallpaper. How nice is that to have to do that? Turn a bedroom into a dancing room. But that's my outlook of what I've learned. And screw me over once, shame on you. Screw me over twice, shame on me, because I should have wised up after the first time. That's what I have learned. And I'm not a wise old woman. I am an old woman, but I'm not wise. But that's what I've learned. You you get what you give, and you need to do good to other for others, and don't expect a reward. You do something nice for somebody. Don't shout it from the rooftops. You know you did it, and God knows you did it. Hi, Sherry. How you doing? I still got all those tassels and everything for you. We got to hook up so I can get them to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to break down and mail them to you, hon. And that's ridiculous. We live 20 minutes apart. We live 20 minutes apart. Well, thank you, El Hadi. My channel's nothing special. I do a lot of shopping hauls and show what I've bought. I do some crafts, and while I don't do tutorials because there's tutorials on YouTube for everything that I do, I will show my finished products and what I've done. So thank you for subscribing me. I'm in Alabama now. Oh, thank you, Jesse. That's so sweet of you. Okay, Sherry, we got to because I got stuff just piling up, and I do all these hauls and then I show it to everybody and then I have no use for a lot of it. A lot of it I put up, because when I do giveaways, and everybody check out my latest Dollar Tree video, I've got a giveaway going on. But when I do giveaways, a lot of people do it with Dollar Tree stuff. I don't. I do giveaways with one time I gave away a set of Contigo cups and uh Coastal, Simply Coastal won those. But I found that gift cards work the best because then I don't have to worry about paying postage. I can put it in a card. So I've got a contest going on now, and it goes through the end of April. And I'm going to have two winners, and there'll be two $20 Walmart gift cards. So make sure to hop over to my channel and check that out. It's very simple. I'm being selfish. My birthday is in April, April 22nd, and my contest is send me a birthday card. What God do I believe in? I was raised Baptist. And as far as I know, everybody has their own version of God, but I was raised Baptist, and that's the God that I believe in. I I don't know how else to say it, but that's the God I believe in. That's a strange question. What God do you believe in? I know the Catholic's version of God is different, and Jewish and Islam and all the different ones. But the one I believe in is the one that's taught in the Baptist religion. Okay, I hope that answered that question for you. Anyways, back to my giveaway. All you got to do is send me a birthday card. It could be a store bought one, and like I've said, they sell them at the Dollar Tree, two for $1. And you can send me a store bought card. You can send me a handmade card. Hell, I don't care. Write happy birthday on a piece of paper and put it in an envelope and mail it to me. That's all you got to do. And everybody that sends me a gift or a birthday card is going to be entered into the drawing. Don't know where to end it to. What? I'm sorry, Buttercups. What did I miss? I've been trying to watch the chat. I don't know where to end. Oh, to send it to. It's in my video. That's okay. When you go to the video, in the description under the video, where it says like my email and everything and my Twitter, my birthday card address, Jesse. For once, it's not going to your house. It's coming here. The address, I will say it again, but it's in my video. It's in the About section. I do have it listed there. It's 143 Mount, capital M, Vernon, capital V, and that's two words. Homes, capital H, so that's three words. Mount Vernon Homes. That's Boaz, Alabama, 35957. But again, the address is in that video. I put it in there. And it's also, I believe it's in my About section on my channel, but it's definitely in that video. I put it there. Yeah, Jesse, I'm not going to have all my cards sent to you if I get any. And if I don't, that's cool too. You know, it's just, it is what it is. But, anyways, I'm going to celebrate my birthday. You guys get the present. Two people will get a present. So, I'd like you to participate. And if you don't, that's cool too. That's all right because, I understand how life is and the way things are, today. But if you want a chance to win a $20 Walmart gift card, and again, I'm giving away two of them, Like I said, it's my birthday, but y'all get the presents. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do something like that, to get to for a giveaway. Well, thank you, Day One. I appreciate that. I'm human, just like anybody else. Everybody likes to get a birthday card on their birthday, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get a birthday card, but in the same, you're giving to me, and I'm giving back, and that's what I do. This will be my fourth giveaway, and I've only got a little over 500 subscribers, and that's okay. It just says, a card that says happy birthday or happy birthday, and you write Jackie on it. And like I said, you could just um, write happy birthday on a piece of paper and put it in an envelope and mail it to me. Yeah, I've only got a little over 500 subscribers, and this is my fourth giveaway. And because I like to give back, y'all take your time to come and, if I do a live stream to chat with me. I'm too old to party. Oh my God, I'm too old. I'm gonna be 59. That's way. The sound is weird. Fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I'm on my laptop, so I don't know. I'm getting a Logitech 920C with the built-in microphones after the first of the month when I get paid, and hopefully that will make my live streams and my videos better. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I like to get back to y'all because you take your time to come and visit me. You're breaking up, sweetheart. I'm talking like a robot. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I can do to fix it. The, the mic is on as far as I know. Well, I guess I'm going to have to end this a little earlier than I wanted to if I'm talking like a robot. But I appreciate everybody coming to see me and chat with me a little bit. I'm going to start trying to do a live stream every day at noon Central Standard Time. So I know a lot of people work and can't do it, but maybe you can catch me on the replay. And I want to say thank you all for coming by. Subscribe to me if you haven't yet. Please hit that bell. And remember my motto. It's not my circus,